Welcome back to Daily Connections. Our house and home expert, Gina Stege, has joined us with some tips on organizing our children's wardrobe. So this is good, a good place to start.
It is.
Why would you say that this is so important?
A couple different reasons. You know, the clothes themselves for children are so small and they kind of get, tangled in and falling over in closets.
Right.
So we want to make sure we have some good storage for them. So
And
we'll
behind the
talk about
dresser.
that. Yeah, get behind the dresser and all of that. So that we'll talk about that in a second. But also, the kids grow so quickly.
They do.
And within one season of weather, they can go through a couple of sizes. So you can literally miss the opportunity to wear something that you've bought. It still has the tags on it, and that window has shut if it's not organized and ready to find.
You're so right. I can honestly tell you that I've done that in my own house. My daughter, so many times at the bottom of the drawer, I see something that's brand new. We try it on, and it's too tight.
And it doesn't fit.
Yeah. So
the third reason is that we love, because of the things that either we missed or that they've outgrown and they're still in good condition, we love to give hand-me-downs and receive hand-me-downs.
Right.
Very often when you receive hand-me-downs, you're getting them maybe 2-3 years before you need them.
Exactly, yeah.
So remembering that they're there, knowing where they're stored and all of that is important to make sure we get our use out of them.
Yeah, because we want to take advantage of that. That's good stuff.
They wear things for such a short amount of time.
You're so right.
That it's really a waste not to maximize that.
I agree with you. Good. So what are some tips that we can really get started with
Sure,
this?
we're going to start in the closet. So now we're hanging. Okay, and there's a couple things going on. We have, nice pretty hangers, and they're all the similar size, and they accommodate the children's clothing. If you have a grown-up wire hanger from the dry cleaning, it's going to poke and pull and not treat the clothing well.
So you suggest on investing in some nice little hangers,
I mean,
right?
they're going to use this, for at least until they're, 10 or 12
11,
or 13,
right?
around there.
Yep.
So they'll get some wear out of them. It's a nice investment, and it protects the clothing.
Do you, I didn't mean to interrupt, do you suggest that we hang more than we put things in drawers?
You know what? Really, it's a great point, Tracy. For girls, obviously, you're going to have a lot more hanging.
Right, the dresses.
As they get older, your child will determine whether or not they're wearing dresses versus pants. They certainly have their own opinions
dress wear
at a
or
certain
a pants
age.
wear, right.
Sure, and for a boy, really, maybe a sport coat, maybe a dress shirt.
Okay.
You really don't need a lot of hanging space for boys. And one thing that, we don't have it here today, but they do make things that hang in a closet with shelves on them that you can convert a boy's closet to shelving space, because you are going to have that. Before the dresses, let's get them hung up. For jackets and sweatshirts and things like that, get them hung up, because they're going to keep your drawers less cluttered.
Right, okay, good.
Okay, and we have a real great trick here that, again, we pick up from a store. We like to kind of have our clothing organized the same way a store would.
These are neat.
These are great. You can pick these up at an organization store. You can even make them. They're not difficult. It's just a circle.
I didn't know you could just buy those.
Yeah, but you can buy them. The ones that you buy are nice because you can write on and wipe off.
Size.
Well, there's two different ways you want to organize it. When they're very little, you want to do it by size, because literally every 3 months, sometimes even sooner, they're going through a different size. So 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, you can divide the closet that way.
Perfect.
Okay? That way, at a glance, and when they're that age, you're not getting a lot of sleep.
No.
So
you
can
reach in
really
and grab.
run to the closet and say, I know, and then, they had a growth spurt.
Perfect.
Overnight, sometimes they grow.
Absolutely.
You'll go to the next spot. The second way to do it when they're a little older and they start to dress themselves and they're going to school is by the days of the week. So you can have, on Sunday night.
Oh my goodness, that's perfect.
You can sit down with your child and pull the outfits for the week, and then have a place for them to go Monday through Friday.
How many times do I yell?
Get dressed. What are we wearing?
It's time. What am I wearing? And then trying
to
so
fumble
this is
around. A great way to do it
by
the days of the week.
Get that set up.
You don't have to think about it
Perfect.
at all.
And also by the season too?
And by the season, sure. I mean, it's going to be, by size and season. You can get as many or as few of these as you like. The season thing is more for long-term storage.
Got it.
Okay.
Great. So now we move on to these.
Yes, we're going to step over here real quickly. This large box is, for long-term storage, and you can see we labeled it 2T fall.
Perfect.
So that's the size. The season.
Very, very important.
This is for receiving hand-me-downs.
Okay.
When they get a little older, you may save things from summer to summer when they start to slow down in their growth. So then it would just be it would be for long-term storage. But when you get those hand-me-downs, you just flip that out.
I love that.
When someone gives you their hand-me-downs, you plop them in here, you put them in storage, and then when you go up every season to change out the clothes, you'll know what size, and you're not going to miss out. Oh, they're a 2T, but it falls over.
Right.
So I've missed that window. So
I have that in my closet. I just have the size, but now I need to really start to go through that and do the season.
And these come at every price point, clear, decorative, however.
Really?
Yeah.
And
so you
a
can
home
find
store, you said?
Home store, superstore, all of that. that.
No
yeah.
kidding.
So there's no shortage of boxes that you can
I like
label.
that. And a pretty box is much better than a banker's box.
Yeah, yeah. So these are for within the closet, within the drawers.
Okay.
Okay. Now we talked earlier about, if you've got a shelved closet, maybe for a boy, getting lots of these is going to allow you some of their little onesies and things, and pajamas and socks and underwear. Get a bunch of these, line them up. You can label them or not. That's up to you.
Right.
This helps to teach them as they get older also to dress themselves. And they'll know which bin
to go to.
If you can put a little picture of a shirt on the label, and then they can see it before they can read and go ahead and dress themselves.
And this will also lead them toward organizational skills as well, which I like.
Which we all love. And then this is, for socks, for underwear, for, anything little that you can roll up when they're really tiny. This could even be for onesies and smaller bibs and things like that. Yeah.
And you just bought this in the home store too?
Yep, this goes in the home store. And this is actually pretty enough. It could go on top of the dresser, but you can certainly put this in the drawers or on a shelf in a closet.
That's great.
So these are real important to keep things from flopping over.
I agree with you. And I like that because it's already separated. I don't have to make anything. It's literally right in there. I love that.
Absolutely. You don't even have to think about it. And as they get older, it could be for jewelry or bracelets or things. So it's got life to it.
Sure.
Try not to get things that are, just for that small window of time. You want them to have life.
Longevity.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So now we've organized our closet.
Okay.
Everything is orderly. We can find things. We know where our hand-me-downs are coming and going. When we send out hand-me-downs to do the courtesy of whoever you're giving them to label it for them. If you even if you're putting it in a in a garbage bag, but put a sign on it, 2T fall, 3T summer.
Great.
So the person receiving it, make sure they're clean and in good order.
Of course.
But there are some things that we want to keep forever because it does get
those
to
little dresses and all that kind of stuff.
So this is a keepsake box, and it's just it's a little bit prettier. It's more decorative. And what you want to do is line it with acid-free tissue. That is archival. It'll make sure that moths don't get to it. That the light and heat and all of that will protect it. So this is something for maybe a christening gown or some sort of a something they wore to a wedding, what have you. So you want to line the box.
Now, what is acid-free?
It just has no chemicals in the paper, and sometimes if a box has maybe the pink dye on this paper, could react over long 20, 30 years.
Where they get yellowy or stains appear out of nowhere. I always wonder why.
Museums use. So if you just you can buy that again.
Acid-free.
Yeah, it's
tissue.
It's going to keep your stuff. So the other thing you want to do once you're storing them, just pop these out of the way, is you can get a shadow box frame and take the treasured ones. Now this would look cute in a family room or in the child's room as they're getting older. So simple.
Right.
So simple. Another great idea. How cute would it be to have their bibs in a kitchen?
Yeah.
Framed above the kitchen cabinets.
That is a good idea.
Kind of working it into the theme.
I love that.
Yeah,
my gosh.
Pretty.
Yeah, because you could fill this with all little stuff from their little
maybe their little rattle or things like that. But the clothing, some of it is so sweet.
Right.
Why not display it and keep it
and remember it forever?
Yeah,
that's so nice
because it's such a short amount of time that they're wearing it.
And when the kids get older, they really appreciate that too. Because my daughter loves to even look back at the old. Yeah.
Well, I was pulling these things today, and my daughter said to me, "Did I wear that?" So, she couldn't even remember.
That's right.
Herself being that small.
And you say, "Yes, you did."
Yes, you did several times. So this I love. This we had professionally made. This is all old dresses. So what do you do with them? Okay, you display one, you put some in a box, but why not have a quilt made? If you're handy, you can make one yourself. And simply cutting out the different parts of the dress because they're never going to wear them again.
Right.
But you can remember the different events and even needlepoint on there. Birthday dress, holiday dress, what have you. And you could either hang this or use it, display it.
Right. That's right. You could hang that on the wall too. That's a great idea. Gina, this is great. I love that, taking the old dresses and making a little blanket out of it.
So
because you're going to use that.
You would use it or display it. Yeah.
Now, would I take? Can I? If I'm not handy, can I take this to someone to have them do it too?
If you do a sort of either an online search or look for a sewing or quilting places or classes or whatever, there's going to be someone that can make that for you, and you give them your clothes and they'll quilt it up for you.
Nice, Gina. This is great. Thank you for these tips. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Always good to have you.
Good to be here.